Tired of being broke, you need to flip or buy and hold. Clocking in and out, your 9 to 5 is getting old. JD Boom and AC Cash, they known to get the bag. You can make your own schedule, know you liking that. Time to take the next step, take your money, invest. Know you just got that check, go sign up with J-Tech. Yeah.
Fellas, Bitcoin.
Yeah.
All this good action, but boy, some scary stuff happening. Man, they talking about they got hacked and all kind of stuff. We got to cover that.
Where they come from?
Hey, we got to find out. Folks in other countries trying to take our bread. Let's talk about it. Pivot Point Investors. Stay with us. Hi, I'm AC Cash, and this is
Jay the Technician.
And this is
JD Boom.
We're here on behalf of Pivot Point Investors, where we help the average investor help grow his nest egg. Hey, that's real estate. That's stock investment. And this crypto stuff.
That's right.
Should we be nervous? People hitting the phone. It's like the hotline. Hey man, what's happening?
Texting, emailing, like the sky is falling for real.
They are. They're talking about Bitcoin got hacked. Did they hack? Did they do some hacking Bitcoin?
It dropped over 10% just from the report.
Report of the possibility.
Yes.
A Bitcoin account got hacked. But let's start at the beginning, because I think we're in the middle of the story. Let's start at the beginning. What happened? J-Tech Libyan, what happened?
Okay, I mean, to be honest, the FBI, they worked hard, they did their job, and they were able to trace the source of the money.
Wait a minute. You jumping in the middle. I thought let me start at the beginning.
Well, I say it. It's Colonial Pipeline. Colonial Pipeline.
Okay.
And they were hacked. It's a major U.S. refinery for gas, for oil, turning oil into gas. And it was hacked. And that's what caused gas prices to jump through the roof. Last few weeks, it was crazy, right? And there was a ransom for $4.4 million.
$4.4 million. So let's back up. So J-Tech, he always open the book in the middle, and he read to the
That's how his brain goes. That's how his brain goes.
I can understand it, and he's one of those kind of guys that get in the middle of your system too. But we digress. So what happened was Colonial Pipeline. They took over the system. They did a debo.
They did.
They did a debo on the whole U.S. pipeline, all the oil.
Shut it down.
Remember when your gas prices started going up? Remember when they started saying, hey, you can only get $10 at the station? Remember when they said, hey, you gotta pay only by cash in this line?
No gas cans.
All that kind of stuff. That's because of these hackers. And we can say where they're from, but we're not exactly sure. The government could tell you. But they deboed our pipeline and said, you got to give me $4 million. I want it in cryptocurrency. No large bills, no die pack. Give me that money.
That's right.
Okay.
Nothing old school. Nothing old school.
Nothing old school about
I don't want any paper money.
No, keep that fiat junk. Okay. And so they said, give it to us. Our Colonial Pipeline said, okay, we're going to give it to you. But first they talked to the FBI. And then you can take the story from there.
Yeah, well, they talked to the FBI, and the FBI said, okay, you guys want to go through it? They went through with it, and they purchased the Bitcoin. Then they got a key. So we got to talk about those keys,
We'll
right?
talk about
I'll let you talk about the keys, Cash. But they got the keys, and then they received the ransom, that group's key. And that's how they directed the transaction. So
it's like they said, hey, give me your Zelle account, give me your email or your phone number. I'm going to send this cryptocurrency to you through the equivalent of a Zelle account or a Cash App or PayPal. And then, since we're in the middle of the book, we can go over to J-Tech. Tell me about it. What happened in that
Man, now we're at the best part. See, this is where the movie just gets that good climb.
That's right.
So at the end of the day, of course, the big news came on. Everybody's freaking out. But the truth of the matter was, none of that actually happened.
What?
So what was it? Because we had Washington Post, we had CNN, we had CNBC, we had Fox, we had all these major media outlets reporting,
saying the government was able to track that money, get that money back,
take it back,
because
and
they
take
hacked
the
back
majority
into the
back.
Bitcoin account. No, that's not what happened.
Take the majority back.
This is why us as Pivot Point investors, why we advocate so much. Do your own research.
Okay.
Do your own research. So of course, I went online. Freedom of Information Act. You can clearly see, since the FBI wants to gloat about it, you can see the warrant online for the seizure that they got in California to get a hold of this Bitcoin wallet. But if you really take your time and read what actually happened, you would see that the Bitcoin's blockchain technology, which protects the anonymous movements between the person who's doing the transaction, the person who's receiving it, was never found. Never compromised. Really what ended up happening was this person decided to take the person or individual, because we got to say it's a group, it's a dark side, ended up putting these funds supposedly in a public Bitcoin wallet account. We won't name which company it was, because at this current juncture, that would not be the right thing to do. So there are a lot of theories as to who it can be. One of the biggest theories that they're throwing out is Coinbase, because the warrant was based in California. And even though the crypto market is grand and it's large, there's not a lot of companies who are running a huge crypto marketplace in California. So it really kind of whittles it down. This company had the public keys stored on there. A warrant was done to that company for retrieval of the wallet. That is how they got their hands on the wallet, which gave them back access to the Bitcoins.
Okay, now let me see. Gotta let that dust settle a second. The folks deboed Colonial Pipeline. They said, give me the money. Then they said, here go my Bitcoin account. You had to send it in Bitcoin. So send the money to me. The government got in the middle of it and said, okay, it's probably more than likely Coinbase that they did the transaction through. We're believing.
They attempted to trace where the transaction came from. Of course, they attempted this through standard old school hacking means of IP addresses, which is basically your GPS location, to see how many times this money was either moved or that same IP address made some kind of move. And they found it to move around.
Wait a minute. How many times?
More than 23 times.
23 times. They bing, 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 bing the money around to kind of, they did the old 3-card Molly on them and said, hey, which one is it under? And
where it rests, and they came back and found it.
Said it's under this one. So the government found it, and they were able to get all the money back, right?
Not even close.
No, not close.
Not close. I think it was close.
4.4 million. Yeah, it's a relative term.
Close is relative to what you think it is.
4.4 million. How much did they get back?
2.3.
2.3. So if you thought you were going to lose 4.4 and you got 2.3, you'd say, that's better than bad.
So you want to gauge that as like half?
Yeah, half a dozen, 6 of those.
So and that again becomes what we say, the misinterpretation of the news media by saying they got most of the money back. That is an incorrect thing. That's not most.
And so as this news is circulating throughout the world, they're saying, man, the big ransom thing, and it's like you catch the guy with the dye pack and chase him around the town, and then you grab the guy, but they caught the criminals, right?
No.
They didn't catch them. They just got mostly half of the money back.
That's
okay. So when that happens, what happened to the cryptocurrency market as a result of that information?
Well, it dropped, over 10% today. Bitcoin, when we last looked, currently today was, about 32,788 a coin, and that was down significantly, especially from, a couple months ago when we're talking, over $60 a coin. Okay. That's a pretty big drop.
60,000.
I mean 60,000, excuse me. A coin.
I would love $60.
Over 60,000 to a little bit over 32,000. That's a big drop. So.
Okay. So it's adding to the volatility in the cryptocurrency market.
It is, and it's so that's why really trying to figure out what's the purpose of reporting this news. Like, what's the purpose? Is it the federal government trying to flex that they can do something they really can't do? Are they trying to discourage hackers in that way? Or are they trying to scare the general public, about whether these transactions can be tracked, because there's got to be something, a reason to twist some facts.
So I guess I look at it like this, and then it's just a way to look at it. It's an early part in this scenario, this scene. But what we do know is there's volatility.
It is. Mm-hmm.
What we do know is that the total anonymity isn't so anonymous as we may believe. We do know that if you're buying cryptocurrency, buying it, selling it, trading amongst each other, the transactions, they're not done in a tax-free manner as they used to be. Now we'll have a little flashback on how they used to. You just did it all in the dark and didn't get, no one knew about that. Mm-hmm. And so we know those things are happening. And so the volatility is happening just as the stock market is happening. There are market forces working to keep that thing up and down.
That's right.
What should you know? You should know that it's still a buyer beware. It's still this meme stock the meme stocks are even more volatile than the Bitcoins and the Ethereums. They're even more volatile. So we have to be cautious. That in essence, be cautious and don't think you're working in total anonymity. Now, just so J-Tech could throw his rod in the water a little bit, we talked about dark web, we talked about anonymity, and there was a time when the crypto, this blockchain was in its total infancy. They had a what would we call Silk Road. We would call it a what?
Well, I mean, no, Silk Road would be the best way to describe it. I mean, even up till now, no matter what they're saying, you have never yet seen anything from the FBI coming out on them going after the people who are conducting these transactions. That has never occurred through all the time that crypto technology has been out.
Now let's wait now.
Question. Can you at least explain what a Silk Road is for some of the viewers that may not know that?
A Silk Road is basically just the new version of the dark web, which was a way in which many different individuals can transact many different levels of illegal activities that would garner some extreme amount of time in prison if you ever got caught doing this in real life. Some examples would be pornography on a very different scale, drugs, illicit drugs, paid for services.
So it was the black market for crypto exchange.
Yes.
Dark market. It was the come behind the bag, meet me by the dumpster for all the crypto transactions.
Yeah.
And so from that beginning, now we're into a place where we can say, hey, 4 million, we can kind of track that a little bit and kind of get some of it back. Not track it per se,
right?
But follow the movements and then maybe get the money back. How does all of that add up? How does all of that affect the guy who's saying, man, I got $1,000. I'm trying to make it move. Should I be afraid that I'm going to get hacked? Should they be afraid while they're in Coinbase and some Binance and some of these other crypto.com exchanges? Should they be afraid that they're going to get hacked?
No.
Okay, we'll say there. Shouldn't be afraid that they should get hacked. We're talking about trillions of dollars on the stock market, and then probably a quarter of that being exchanged in cryptocurrency on the blockchain. And so should we be thinking that this is some parlor room stunt, this cryptocurrency, or should we accept it as a legitimate form of transaction?
I think we should accept it as a legitimate form of transaction because the basis of it, when you really read about the blockchains, especially Ethereum and all the different Ethereum, altcoins available, it's some really slick technology.
Okay, so we got smart people moving stuff. We got a exchange that's on the stock market. Coinbase is out there now. You better believe some more of them are going to come. And so the thing to believe is, one, don't believe everything you hear.
No. Absolutely
Bitcoin
right.
didn't get hacked. They didn't trace these guys. Nobody went to prison. They did get some money back. And they did enable other people who might get part of these ransomware situations the ability to come to the government and say, hey, somebody's messing with me. Can you help me out? You don't have to do it alone and afraid.
Right.
So that's a good thing. That helped get Colonial Pipeline back in there, get us out of those lines at the gas station because they had us over a barrel.
They did.
Man, we were looking crazy. But that was short-lived. So all of those things are good signs for the markets, good signs for our economy, and a reason why you're going to continue to get pivot point investors info related to cryptocurrency because it's here to stay.
Absolutely.
It's here to stay.
It's a major market now. You're talking about well over 1.6 trillion.
Trillion with the T.
With the T.
Okay.
Total cryptocurrency market is market capitalization is over 1.6 trillion. So that is incredible.
But I look at same thing like what Tesla said when they all got on him about the autopilot feature. And he said it very clear. The amount of accidents that we have in America paled in comparison to just the couple handful of times the situation like that happened with his cars. And it's the same thing for Bitcoin. You losing Bitcoins or getting hacked is no different than the odds of you getting robbed literally. I mean,
losing your wallet, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
it's much
less, honestly, if you want to think about it. You're more likely for someone to snatch your wallet or snatch your purse down the street than for you to get hacked. I mean, even
especially if you're downtown Atlanta at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Oh no, you did, man. You did.
Out there, you been 4 in the morning.
Hey, well look, it's a high school freshman. His brother's an NBA player. He got robbed with his friend 4 a.m. I'm like, hey brother, don't be out at 4 a.m. in Atlanta anymore.
How about that? How about that?
You'll be all right.
Words of wisdom to live by. Hey, we're just covering this. We're just giving you an understanding that, hey, the blockchain is here to stay. Get your education about it, Pivot Point Investors. We talk about these safety measures in our courses and all of that. These guys have already subscribed though.
Yes, already done.
Did you hit the button, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and tell a friend? Should they tell a friend?
Absolutely. Always send this video to one person, especially if they're panicking about cryptocurrency. They're panicking. They're upside down. What do I do? I don't want to lose my money. Don't do anything. The best thing to do, the best advice is nothing right now. Just let it play out over time and just be patient. Don't let fear overtake you, and then we'll be fine. Like, just see where it goes. You know, there's no harm, no foul, because it's not a loss or a gain until you sell. And do I want to tell them now about, different offerings we're going to be adding?
We're going to hold that.
Okay, I was itching to do it, Cat.
There's a lot of stuff coming. We're still rocking and rolling. We're giving information. We're keeping you informed because fear just, scared money don't make no money. So we don't want you running scared.
No.
Stay smart, keep investing. I think we're good, guys.
We are.
We're good. Let's put a bow on it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Done deal.
Hey, I'm AC Cash. This is
Shada Technician.
And this is
JD.
Hey, saying Pivot Point Investors. We're saying stay in the money. Don't get afraid. Don't go and run, but stay smart. No hacking, huh? Nobody getting hacked. We're good. Everybody's good.
That's right.
All right. Let's go buy some more coins.
Let's go.
Yeah, what's up?
See you next time.